So hi everybody, I'm Anjy, this is Tony. You've heard from Tony the musician and I'm the artist, and we're from Anjy and Tony's Creative Retirement. So the next video that I want to show to you is about neurographic art.
This is really cool stuff.
And
Really
Tony
cool.
is very good at neurographic art, and we have some pieces of his that I'm also going to show you. And I've been teaching this for a little while, and it's a meditative process within your art that you can do. And I think the video is going to explain a lot more about it. So I know you're going to enjoy this, or I hope that you're going to enjoy it. I don't know. I can't make that assumption that you'll enjoy it, but I hope
I will.
He can make that assumption
I will,
for
and
me.
I do.
So I want to thank you all for giving us the time and spending this time to watch this. And if you've got any questions, I will address them afterwards. So what I wanted to talk to you today about, and also what I'm going to demonstrate here, is about neurographic art. It's something that I've been teaching for a little while now, and I would describe it as a cross between doodling, and it's meditative with your subconscious and your conscious mind working together, and it's very relaxing. Now, how this started for me initially was I travel with Tony, obviously, and Tony is a person who's got to be active all the time. And whenever we're on a plane, I'm always trying to find something to keep him busy, especially if it's a very long flight. So I travel with my sketch pads, and we started doodling on the plane together. I would put something down, I'd pass it over to him, and he'd keep adding to it. And we'd find that this would pass at least an hour or so for us on a plane. Then I look at further into doodling, because it's a very popular thing now. You can get all the books where you can color in on them, and you can doodle and you can do different things. But I realized, found, should I say, that there is a whole science to this of neurographic art, which was actually developed by a psychologist called, I always forget his name here, Pavel Piskarev, in I think it was 2014, so it's not that long ago. And I started looking at that and parts of it, and came up with my own take on all the things that I was learning with this. And what I found was it's a meeting of the conscious mind with the unconscious mind. If you believe, like I do, that creativity is in your soul, it's here, we had it. We drew when we were younger, we painted when we were younger, and all of a sudden you're older. I haven't got anything creative in me, I haven't got a creative bone in my body. That's not true. You have it there, you need to bring it out again. So with this method, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to relax into a process without a preconceived idea of where it's going to go to, and just go with the flow. And it does connect to the neurons in your brain that open the creative pathways for you again. And I've done it a number of times with different people. And so I'm going to show you how to do this today. So I'm going to start this by making some marks on the paper. One of the most daunting things that you will have with anything that you do is to be faced with a white paper. So what we're looking at here is playing, and we're going to use the flow of curved lines. We don't want perpendicular lines, because a perpendicular line stops you from flowing. So be creative with it. So now I am going to just take my pen, and I'm going to draw a line up here. Now, what happens is quite often when you're thinking about the line and you're drawing it, you get all uptight and you want to go like this, you want to go like this, because you're thinking about it. So what I want you to do is you take a coin here, and I'm going to put it at the very edge here, and I'm going to push this coin from here over to here. Okay, so when I push it here, I'm going to try to get it over to that. Can you see it doesn't want to go? Okay, it's doing all sorts. Go over there, Okay, good here. And whoops, it's want to come back to me. I'm going to take it back here. I'm going to push it here. Now, I had no control of that. So I let go of all the control and I just let the line flow, which is a much more interesting line actually than I created before. Now let's do that one more time, and this time I'll push this up from here up to here. So I'm going from the bottom up to the top. I'm using the tip of the brush this time, or should I say tip of the marker, and I'm going to push this all, whoops, it didn't want to go there. Let's get back up here. Here we are. So I've got lines, and I think I'll make another line from this side here across. So I'm pushing this all the way across here, and I'm going to get it down over, whoops, here, cross it over. Now I have lines on my paper. So what am I going to do next? The next thing that I will do is I want to get rid of all the perpendicular where it crosses over here. I want to get my hand flowing. So without thinking, I'm going to fill in all these spaces here. So I'm going to fill in that here. Okay, go around here. And I want to have, wherever they meet, I want those to be rounded out. So I'm going to round that out here, and I'm going to let my pen just flow like this. I'm going to round out this one here, where it meets here, fill that space in, and I'm going to round it out so I've got a rounded shape here. And it's here, it's another one here. I'm going to round that out as well. And look, I've got another one over here. And this one here is one of those little lines there. I'm going to round that out here. I'm going to round this one out, flow it down. So I'm letting everything flow together. I'm going to round this out. There's another one here. This one needs to be rounded out. So I'm allowing my hand to flow. Okay, and there's another one where it meets here. So I have been rounding out most of the areas here, so they're rounded here, because there's more of a flow to that, and I like that. There is another one here, and it's actually very relaxing when you start looking. Like here, there's another one I've got to round out here, go around here, and okay, and there's another one here, and there's a little one here. So it's a very relaxing process. And I'm sure, oh, there's another one here. It's not rounded. There's another one here. So I'm rounding them all out. And then I've got this here. So it's a relaxing process as I do it. It almost becomes quite meditative. And it bypasses, as I said, rational thinking. That you go, oh, this looks like a figure, that looks like that, like that. You don't rationally think, you just let it come through you. And you surprise yourself with some solutions now, and I'm going to take you now into using some colors with this. So we're scribbling, really, in some ways, but we're taking away the craziness from that scribbling. So now what I want to do is to add some color and then add some more shapes to it. I must say that Tony is really good at this, doing this, and he's come up with some amazing pieces, which I'm going to show you here, with what he's done. And it really does kind of have an indigenous feel to it, although he wasn't going by that, but you can't help but be influenced. Now, when I was doing this as well, I was finding different YouTubes on it, which you can do too. And I came across one which was really talking about the things you don't do, and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I do agree that you have to have the flow of the lines, and you don't want to have perpendicular lines that stop you dead in your tracks. but you do need to flow with it. But I don't think that anything in art is a right or wrong. I think it's something that you go with how you feel. So this time I'm going to put here, I'm going to put some more circles on here. So let's see what I've got here. Let's see. I have no idea how this is going to come out. And do I really care? Because I'm having fun with it. Go around. Can't quite see what I'm doing there. Kind of nice. Go circle there. I think I'll do a smaller circle down here. Don't know what I did there. Oh, well, perhaps I'll just flow that up like that. Yeah, because I couldn't see behind. Not used to having a camera above me. And I am actually a person who stands usually when I paint. So here we have got some shapes here. Some different shapes. I've got another one here that now I have to fill in these little square, these perpendicular, where it crosses over. I think I'll let that flow here. Lovely scribbles. What else have I got? Oh, I've got another one here. And I think I'm going to put a little round mark here. I haven't pre-thought this out. I am just going with the flow, and I don't want you to think too much about it either. I want another one there. Don't know why I want another one there, but I just feel like I should have another one there. So now I'm going to go back in here and just flow those out a little bit more. Here, here. Get rid of those corners. Is there another corner here? You find the more lines that you add, and you'll find more corners, obviously. And I'm sure you're going to ask me, how many lines should I have? Beats me, I don't know. You just have as enough as you think. And you're probably maybe neater than I am on a way of doing it. I don't know, but you would just go with the flow. So now we're going to put colors into it. And I love Prismacolors. I think I've told you that before. One of my favorite is, they've got a really painterly feel, and they're great to travel with. But I've also got these other markers that I recently bought, and they are I think I got them in Costco actually, and they're not permanent. And what they do is when I pick them out, I can put water with them, and I'm going to show you that in a minute here. I'm going to sort of end up coloring in some of the spaces here. And they've got a thin side and a thick side to them. I'm not making a piece of art that's going to last me a lifetime. I'm just having fun with something. Here, let's add some, let's color that in. I can see there's more places for me to fill the corners in. And oh, I like this color. That's kind of nice. Let's add that up here. Where else can I put something? Let's just a bit here. I'm going to add some orange on here. And I think I'm going to take this here. I'll show you what I can do with that. Can you see how when I put the water onto it, it just flowed. And you can't do that with permanent markers, but you can do it with these markers. Now watch this. When I do that, I can get this orange a little over here. Look how it changed the color, but the black is not coming off because that's a permanent marker. I do like that color. And I'm going to do some more in here. I'm going to scribble this here. The orange. I'm going to bring this down here. And I've got nice light orange there too. It's kind of a cool color there. So now I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to add colors, and I'm going to go to the Prisma box in a moment. It's a different one here. I think I'll get this here. What about if I added this here? So now you can start just having fun. And the nice thing about when you're just having fun with this is the fact that you're not trying to think about drawing a landscape or a portrait of somebody. You are just doodling. And as I said, on a plane, this is wonderful because you can pass it back and forth. And sometimes we'll have a water bottle with us, so we can easily put water down there. And I take a little brush with me, and I'm just putting a bit of that in here. And I'm going to take the wet brush and let that flow around. But you see how that gave a nice different effect there? Now I think I'll do a little down here as well. You see I've still got some of that orange on my brush. Here. And they are just a Staedtler marker. I think you can see that there. And I say I just got them from Costco. They're just cheap. And it's a great thing to do with children too, but you're going to find it's just so relaxing. Now, the Prisma colors are different again. And I think I'm going to go in here. I can use these to travel with, or I can use this to just scribble here over. And I like it because I can add different colors to it as well. This looks like the moons of somewhere. The crater. So I'm going to keep going on this and keep adding to it. And when I'm adding, I can even add little, like if I wanted to put sort of little dots in here. There's no limit to what I can do now to it. So now you're going from having no control of it to adding control. And you will decide how you're going to do this. Now I think I will probably put another line down here from this big space, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to just keep painting it in for a while. When I'm doing this, if I put one color somewhere, I tend to put it in a couple of places around just to give it some sort of balance, and then I switch to another color. You might very well choose your colors beforehand and see what you're going to play with. I am just picking up randomly as I go, and got a sort of purple here. I think I'm going to do that darker purple somewhere else because we almost need it somewhere. Maybe I'll do it the darker purple here. I like that purple color. I haven't used very much markers on this, the colored ones, but I could do. It's just that I've got all these markers here, so I'm just using those. But I love the Prisma color too. There's no limit to what you can do here. I often talk about sensibility to things. I think I moved the camera off there a little bit. Hopefully you can still see that. We all have a different sensibility. What I see because of my environment and what you see are two totally different things. For example, if perhaps you live in Arizona, you would see in your environment more cactuses and things like that. If we live where I am, we see more fir trees, the greenery, we're more used to ice, snow. So everybody's got that different sensibility of what they will see and how they see it. And that's what you're responding to when you're doing anything, whether it's painting, whether it's singing, anything that you're doing that's creative, that's what you're responding to. And also here, when I'm looking at your theory on color mixing, if I put orange and blue together, I'm going to get a different effect. And if I put this here, I'm going to put some yellow on top of this here. And this is going to change this color completely. Kind of like that color though too, because yellow and purple make a gray. So I'm getting this really strange color here. So it's a great way for you to play with colors and see what you can come up with, and really just enjoy the process. And I'm going to finish this up now, and I'll show you what I get afterwards, and I'll show you some different examples of neurographic art. And the most important thing is that you're having here is to relax into this process. If it's stressful for you, you don't want to do things that stress you out. We want to do things that we just have fun doing, and this is one of those great ones that we can do that with. So Tony, do you want to come and add to this? Because if we were traveling, I would pass it over to you and you could add to it. Do you want to add to it?
Well, I can't. I got my hands full.
What do you get your hands full with?
I got a carburetor in my hands. Here, I'll show the folks back home what I'm doing.
You got a carburetor.
This is a carburetor.
Okay. You go. Woo! You go build a
put a cord on it.
You go build a carburetor.
And but thank you anyway for asking.
I'm going to keep flowing with this. Here, what have I got here? Go round. There's no limit how long you can go on with this. I've done it where people they say they're done after half an hour, and I've got other people who will go on and keep doing it for hours and hours and adding something more to it each time. And maybe that's here, adding more here, more lines. And sometimes it does kind of speak to you. Sometimes you think, oh, I think this has got kind of looking this way, and I've got something else I want to add to it. It's perhaps looking like this looks like a little strawberry to me. So I can add more things to that. And I think I love this green color. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put this green. These paints came with a thick side and with a thin side. So that's cool because I can add thin lines too, but I've just been putting these ones here. What I find interesting when you're doing this sort of things though too, how your personality comes through, because I'm a person who works very, very quickly, and I'm a person who's the project person who goes, okay, that's done now, I'm on to another project. Whereas other people will spend hours upon hours doing this. And I think that's wonderful. I wish I could be like that, but that's not who I am, and that's okay. The most important thing when you're doing anything creative is to be who you are and to show your personality. And I can't emphasize that enough. Not to go with, oh, this isn't right, that's wrong, I want to do something different. It doesn't look like hers. It doesn't. Be what you want it to be, and be who you are. And here, I'm going to put that in here, got some more water on it, let it go around here. Maybe I'll add more something in here, color that in here. I like the lights and darks of it. And I think I'll put a bit up here. I think I'm going to leave some white though on it. And then I'll leave it and I'll come back and I'll see what else I can do to this. Maybe I'll put a bit more here. Orange. That's pretty cool. So I'm not sure where else I'm going to go with this for now. I'm going to leave it and I'm going to come back to it later and see what we end up with. As you can see, you can keep on going until every single space is covered in, or you can do what I did and just leave a lot of white onto it, which I did. It's also a great thing for painters too if you want to learn how to do marks, different marks and things, kind of like that as well. And I think, oh, what else have I got into this little thing of mine? I know what I've got. I've got white here. Got some of this white crayon. Isn't that's really nice. Oh, look at that, how I made marks onto it. And now when I rub it over, whoa, that's really cool. So what I did is I took a marker and I went like this. I actually didn't know that was going to happen. And then I went over it here with this crayon. That's really cool. Whoa, I think I might do that up there too. So there's no limit of what you can do with this. You can just keep going and you get a really interesting thing now, and you're taking doodling to a whole another level. And I love that. Let's see what that does here with these crayons. So a lot of these marks that I will make, I can use for another time, which are into something else that I'm doing. And I'll finish this up and then I'll show you what it looks like when I finished it, if I ever finish it. Okay, I went over that too soon. Paper's still a bit wet. Go back and do that later. So now I'm just going around and I'm just playing, absolutely playing. So I realized if I go with the crayon over here, I can soften up those lines a little bit here. They're not so black. Just enjoying the process. Oh, and look at this. My flight is going to be landing in 10 minutes and I've been doing this for 2.5 hours. Wow, isn't that great? Just kidding, because I'm sitting in my studio. But that's pretty much what happens when you start doing this. And you get all these other different marks happening here. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool here. Can add some more to it later, down here maybe. I'll fill in this. The thing is, you don't know when to stop. You can't help it, you just keep going and... and, ooh, got another one there. Okay, time to stop. Oh, except that bothers you, and then bothers me, and then you go back in again and you scribble. But anyway, I think you get the gist of what I am saying with this. It is just one of those really fun things to play around with. Just make marks, just have fun, being creative, and if there's a story inside that it talks to you, bring that story out. Maybe you talk the worlds, or maybe it's a person here, or maybe it's something, or maybe you want a butterfly. I don't know. Just make your painting talk to you a little bit, or just enjoy the colors and the process and the fun of it. So this is Anjy from Anjy and Tony's Creative Retirement. And today we've been having a little bit of fun doing some neurographic art in my studio, and I can keep going on this and keep having more fun doodling, playing with it. And I hope you enjoy this video. And if you want to hear more from Tony, who is the musician, and myself, who is the artist, in our creative retirement, you do something. I got tongue-tied there. That's too funny. Anyway, I think you press the subscribe button or the like, or send me a note, and I certainly will reply to you if there's any information I can give you, help you on your creative journey. Anyway, once again, this is Tony and Anjy from Tony and Anjy's Creative Retirement. So this is Anjy, this is Tony. If you liked what you saw, what is it? Subscribe, and you can see more videos from us, Anjy and Tony's Creative channel, and Process Art Discovery.